For today's video, we're going to take a different look at every single NFL team and their production this year. Who won? Who lost? And this is going to be based on really a lot of different things. I mean, obviously there's the win-loss totals that happened before the year, but I'm not looking at the strict number because you can go do that at home. We're going to kind of quantify what's not quantifiable, and you'll see what that looks like in a moment. But either way, before we get into this video, let me remind you to check out w.gg right here behind my shoulder. I've got some of my favorite energy drinks, okay? This one right here is the one I drank today, the green apple. It's one of my favorite flavors, and I actually am not a very big green apple fan, but this stuff is pretty dang good. I'd advise you to check out any of these flavors. The blue raspberry, the green apple, the mystery, the fruit punch, they're all good. Those are the ones I've just had so far, but I'll be looking to get more soon. Either way, I've got you a code SHREDDER, SHRD3R. Use it for 10% off anything on their website, and let's get right into this video. So here we are checking out our list here. It's really pretty simple. Win, lose, and then in the middle, like, I don't want to put a draw or an on par because I really don't feel like there's a way to do that. There's really not a goal that you can be on par with, but I feel like there's going to be some teams that there just is an on par for them. Like, you know, there's just really not a win, but there's not a loss. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I've already got one team in mind that's definitely going to end up in this tier. But either way, let's get started. This is in a random order, so we're going to go with that. The Rams, in my opinion, I think they have won this season so far. They've dealt with a lot of crappy defensive players, a lot of, injuries and a lot of different things. And they're making the playoffs, okay? Right now, they're scheduled to be the winner of their division. I don't know if it's completely locked up, but it's at least somewhat close. It's not like super far off, if not locked up already. They've won this season. I mean, to whatever degree you want to call it, they have definitely put in some work and come out with, a victory on their division, and I think that's a win enough, considering how well the Cardinals played, how the Niners were projected, how the Seahawks were, also pretty much projected to be about as good as they were, and they've been able to take it home. They get a win. Moving on, the Cleveland Browns. I don't think there needs to be another word other than loser for this whole franchise. That whole franchise is a franchise of losers. They're going to end up losing Myles Garrett over this. They just suck. There's nothing good about them. They paid Deshaun Watson. That sucked. They did this. That sucked. That did this. Sucked. It all sucks, okay? Everything sucks. The Atlanta Falcons. I think it's a big loss, honestly. A pretty big one for them as well. Yeah, I'd definitely say that's the case. You're looking at this team, and obviously this is just based on the regular season. The Atlanta Falcons, they bring in Kirk Cousins, pay him a whole buttload of money for him to do absolutely nothing but suck. He sucks very badly. We saw that he sucks. He's lost everything that he once had, and now they're playing Michael Penix. Okay, you drafted him top 8. Well, at least you're using him even when you drafted him top 8, but I don't see this playing out very well for them. Michael Penix looked good in his first game, or good's a big word. He looked fine, okay? He was fine. That's about as good as it gets. And, yeah, Michael Penix. Wonderful, I guess. Moving on, the Chargers. That's a tough one. For the Chargers, I think I'm going to say that, they've won this year to a point. They're a lesser winner. They're 10-6, okay? They're probably going to get the chance to win their last game. I believe they play the Raiders. Whoop-de-freaking-do, man. You get a good one off that one, I guess. They've been fine. I think the Harbaugh and the Herbert comparison, the combination, will be a good one for them long term, and I'm excited to see how that does play out. So right now, win, sure, whatever. Moving on, the Niners. Dude, the Niners couldn't suck worse this year. I mean, this is the same team, effectively, that went to, 3 straight NFC championships and 2 Super Bowls? That was embarrassing. I mean, this is effectively the same team. Effectively, okay? Or 1 Super Bowl, 2, 3 whatever it was. I don't know. Look, here's the thing. Here's the deal. Here's the kit and caboodle all put together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You had injuries. So did the Lions, okay? The Lions have had more injuries than anybody, and they're kicking in. I understand. Oh, well, they didn't lose Christian McCaffrey. They did lose Aiden Hutchinson, who was like the only actual good player on that defense. Let's be real. There's really no excuse for this, how bad they truly have been. Honestly, I do think this buys Kyle Shanahan more time, and he won't be fired as likely, or as likely to be fired, because if he would have gone to another NFC championship and lost, I think he'd be fired more than what happened this year. Either way, kind of weird. Yeah. Panthers. They are going to get a win from me. I do think that is the case. Yes, they won 4 games. I understand that. This is not about the number here. Bryce Young looks like he has a career in front of him. That is a win. When you look at how much they got for trading away that first pick, which ended up being Caleb Williams, this is a W. They have assets to come. They have assets that are there. They have Xavier Legette, who's kind of cool. There's a lot of things there that they can build off of. And when you have a young quarterback who's on a rookie contract and looks like he's actually going to be a part of your future, that's a win. Yes, it's not a whole lot of winning this year, but looks like you're setting up your future to win. No one thought the Panthers were going to be great anyways. Boom. There we go. We got some ground to lay. And, moving on forward. Let's go. After that, we got the Seahawks. They are... this one's tough. I'm going to put them in this middle category. I wasn't really thinking about them when I made this middle category, but I mean, they're eliminated at 9-7. 9-7, okay, you might be 10-win team and miss the playoffs, so that's kind of a good bad thing, right? Well, part of that's because in their division, they didn't do a bad job. They were 3-2, but they didn't do good enough. They also are the Seahawks, and I'm just not impressed with most of what Geno Smith has done in his late career. He's been fine. He's been good. Obviously, much better than he started. But it's not. I think it's there's this weird hype around him because he was so bad and now he's not so bad, and so it's like, oh, he's good. No, he's not good. He's just not bad. He's an average quarterback that's a starter in the league. Anyways, yeah, Seahawks fans, get off of the Geno Smith deal, please. Buffalo Bills, absolute win for them this year. Nearly taking the 1 seed if it wasn't for an absolute, devil-worshipping season that the Chiefs had. Obviously, they're coming out here sacrificing kids under the stadium to get the wins that they did. They have to be. There's no other explanation for what's going on. Anyways, this is about the Bills. The Bills they're good, man. Josh Allen, he's good, man. In my book, he's the MVP this year. Great stats, winning team, great team. And obviously, he's surpassed the eye test by all means. So it doesn't matter. Bills, that's a big win season. Packers, I'd say this is a winning season for them. It really does suck how this has played out for them, that the fact that the Vikings and the Lions have been so good. It really makes the Packers, they're 1-4 in the division because they've played both of those teams twice now. They're going to be 2-4 by the end of the season because they'll play the Bears, which is lucky for them. But they've lost 4 games to teams, which, okay, on one hand, that's bad because you're not even competitive with them in all reality. You're really just getting run over by the better teams. But you're getting wins elsewhere. Wherever they are, whoever cares, whatever. The point here is you got a winning season. You're in the playoffs. You're 11-win team. That's hard to get to. I mean, basically 11 wins is a great season no matter the way you look at it. And, minus the fact that Jordan Love has kind of, in a sense, regressed from last year, you're in a good spot, okay? I think you'll be fine. I'm not worried about Jordan Love at all. The Saints, I'm going to put them in a losing season because, once again, they have no money. For the last 3 years, they've had no money. They continue to have no money. They're not going to get any better. They're only going to get worse. They really are just delaying the rebuild at this point. Derek Carr, I like Derek Carr. Really cool guy. Not met him, but he seems like that. And he seems like a good dude. But also, he is good enough to keep you from losing games, but not good enough to make you win games, if that makes any sense at all. And if it doesn't, I don't know, go read a football book or something. You'll understand later. No, yeah, he just needs some help or something, but they also don't need help. They need to be bad. They really, really need to be bad. The Raiders, I'm going to take this as a losing season. I don't know how you can win when you come into a year with the expectation of starting Gardner Minshew and or Aiden O'Connell. That is absolutely horrendous. Their GM should be, I don't know if fired is even sufficient enough. There may be like a death penalty for that. I don't know. Anyways, no, that's bad. Max Crosby's probably going to end up leaving. There's no chance that guy wants to stick around. I wouldn't either. They're going to try to draft Shadur Sanders and maybe hire Dion. Wow, that's a wonderful idea. No, and now, not to mention, they're pushing themselves out of the number 1 pick contention because they keep on kind of sort of winning games. I mean, like, you've won 2 straight. What is the goal here? You're bad. You're bad. You're debatably the worst roster in the league outside of Max Crosby. Do something good for the guy and just trade him, please. Cowboys, massive loss season. Maybe the biggest loser of the year. Projected to be a Super Bowl contender, and, well, boy, it wasn't that. I don't know what to call it. And they now, oh, look, they just literally, as I'm speaking, released Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott, wow. Cowboys legend doesn't even want to be there anymore. That's how bad this is. The Cowboys suck. Dak Prescott overpaid. CeeDee Lamb, his shoulder hurts, and he's never going to be the same. I'm just kidding. He probably will be fine. But no, this season is disgustingly destroyed the Cowboys and what might be the Cowboys for the next 3 to 5 years. I mean, Dak Prescott, I don't know if he's gonna stick around. I don't. He's paid, so he's going to, but like I don't think it's gonna be in a good way. Mike McCarthy, they're probably going to for some reason re-up him. I don't know why. Anyways, it's Dallas. Jerry Jones ruins it all. The Bears. So okay, this isn't gonna make any sense, and I know there's gonna be some comments on this one. They're gonna go in this middle tier here because, in a sense, they did lose this season because of the expectations had for them. However, Caleb Williams has shown a lot of flashes, and honestly, it is a win in and of itself that they fired Matt Eberflus, okay? Matt Eberflus. It is a win in and of itself that they did that. That is the biggest thing they could have done this year. Better than winning a Super Bowl nearly. No, I'm just kidding. That would have obviously been better. But anyways, Eberflus sucked very badly. He was not even a good he was a good defensive coach, but not as a head coach. Just some guys need to stay coordinators. It's okay. The coordinator job, there's 32 of those. There are 64, I guess, with the offense, defense, special teams, 96, whatever. Doesn't matter. Stay a coordinator, Eberflus. You're not a head coach. That was bad. So, considering they got rid of him, good. Considering that they only won like 4 games and they lost like 11 straight at this point, not good. Anyways, Colts, lost season. Yes, I know. They only just last week got eliminated from playoff contention, but also they just sucked this year. Like, they won. I can't believe they were alive when they were. They were just like that, the cockroach that never dies. Like, you crush them 8 times and they're still alive. Anthony Richardson, he's not good at football. Let's be real. He's not good at playing quarterback. Let me say that. He can run. He can throw it really, really hard and really, really far, but that doesn't win you football games. And I don't think they're winning football games. Their defense was atrocious. Quentin Nelson is no longer the same Quentin Nelson, even though he's still very good. Jonathan Taylor, is that guy still good? I'm not really sure. It's just not a good season for them overall. Miami Dolphins, I'm going to put them here because, yes, they're 8-8. And yes, they were expected to probably be like a 10 to 12 win team. They're only at best going to be a 9-win team and maybe scrape into the playoffs. And I understand they probably should be a loser this year, but at the same time, Tua got hurt, and you can't, blame them on that. That's not really something that's lost. And at least they've fought back, okay? They're winners of 2 straight. They've won like 4 of their last 5 or something along those lines. They're not in a bad spot. They're just not in a good one. Now, they do seem soft, and they do not have the ability to play in the cold weather, so that's a problem that needs to be solved. But overall, across the board, in terms of the things that have been considered, it's like just a very much on par is not the word, but you didn't lose, I would say. The fact that you're even alive at this point for the playoffs is a win. Patriots, this is actually a winning season. They are about to lock up the number 1 pick, and honestly, I bet they don't even take somebody at number 1. I bet they trade back. Will Campbell, Kelvin Banks, maybe a receiver, Travis Hunter, Tedero McMillan, whatever. I think Travis Hunter's a receiver. That's a conversation for a whole nother day. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Is he a receiver or a corner? Anyways, getting that number 1 pick, matching up Drake May, going to get an offseason addition of maybe like a T. Higgins or a Chris Godwin or something, and bringing in a rookie, a high value rookie, or trading it and bringing in multiple rookies, multiple assets. That's a great thing to have happen. That's a win. That's an absolute W on the year. Moving forward, the Detroit Lions, I'm going to put them up here because they won this season. They have been dominant. They just had 2 receivers and 2 running backs all have over 1,000 yards for the first time in NFL history. What is going on? Jared Goff, is he actually an MVP? No, but he might be considered valuable enough. Ben Johnson, the only bad part about this year is I'm like 97% certain that this is it for Ben Johnson as a Lion. And that really is going to blow. I bet Jared Goff takes a pretty big hit after that one. The Bengals, even if they make the playoffs, this is a lost season. This should have been a 14-13 win team. The way they've played offensively, and the defense has ruined it. And I thought Lou Anarumo was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips, pal. He's not. So what is it? What's the problem? Oh, your secondary took a few hits. Chidobe Awuzie's not that good. Get out of here. Oh, Trey Hendrickson's so good. Well, where's the rest of the defense? Okay, I don't know. This is a lost season. If they had 2 to 3 more wins at this point in the season, they would already have the MVP locked up, Joe Burrow. But because their entire team was not on the same page for most of the year, he's not going to win it, and that sucks. But oh well. The Tennessee Titans lost. Will Levis sucks. He is done for. I don't think there's any hope of that. Mason Rudolph is also not amazing. He's fine, but that's a big word. Brian Callahan, so far, kind of looks like a crap hire, but, whatever. And honestly, it's kind of hilarious because This team, all the Titans fans came out of the woodworks last year saying like, oh, we're going to have a great year. We're going to be actually good for once. Says who? We got good players. Says who? Calvin Ridley. Sucks. I don't even know who else I got. Oh, yeah. L'Jarius Sneed. Didn't play this year hardly at all. Joby Awuzie doesn't really actually play well. There's not a whole lot of win here. Honestly, J.C. Latham. Oh, he's going to be good. No, he's not. I told you he wasn't. He really wasn't all that good. Yeah, there's just not a really lot of win here. I will give you, I did say Tony Pollard was going to suck, and he did better than I thought. If it wasn't for Tony Pollard, this team would be the number 1 pick in the draft. But hey, they got out of that much. The Eagles, they won. Good year. Jalen Hurts needs to get back healthy for the playoffs. Kenny Pickett is not going to get it done. I promise you that much. Let me think. Yeah, they've been good. They got 2 good rookie corners. They've had a good season. The Jaguars, losers. Massive losers. They are 4-12. Trevor Lawrence, is he actually good at football? I don't know. He probably's fine. He also just plays for the Jaguars. So, hey, I don't know. Trade him somewhere else. Let him go be a good guy somewhere else. That'd be cool, right? Wouldn't it? Probably not. Anyways, yeah, this is a lost season. Very, very bad. They got rid of some guys and brought in some guys. You know, Brian Thomas, that was a win, but that's about it. Everything else sucked. The Broncos, I'm going to give them a winner. Bo Nix has not been as good as a lot of people think he has been. He's very much a check down and let the receiver run. Hey, you know what? Okay, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, if that's what you're going to be, if that's what you're going to play like, okay. But let's not act like you're an MVP candidate. Let's not act like you're amazing, okay, Broncos fans? He's not amazing. He's fine. He's okay. He did pretty solid, okay? That's about it. He's ADOT on average depth of target, if you don't know, is like -1 yards. Just kidding, but not really. It's bad. Anyways, Giants, they haven't been bad enough to say they're a winner, and they're not good enough to say they're a loser because they also just suck. So what are the Giants? They're 3-13 right now. They're probably going to get the number 2 pick at this point. I guess you'd say that's kind of a winner, but also the fact that they're a winner, okay? You know what? They finally got rid of Daniel Jones. That's what puts it over for me. They got rid of Daniel Jones. They got off the contract earlier rather than later. Get the money off your books. So be it. Sayonara. Goodbye. Minnesota Vikings, huge winner. Maybe even a bigger winner than the Lions, considering what we expected. Kevin O'Connell, locked up Coach of the Year with this one. Great job by him. Sam Darnold looks like an MVP-type player, which is crazy. Now, considering the fact that we just seen the perfect execution of putting a team together. Oh, our O-line's bad. Kirk Cousins doesn't have time. Let's put them together. Christian Darrisaw, Brian O'Neill, whoever else is in the center there. They've been really, really solid, okay? Then, Christian Darrisaw gets hurt. Let's bring in Cam Robinson from a team who sucks. Wonderful. Good job. Masterful thinking. Why have we never done this before? Then, Justin Jefferson's really good. We're going to draft another one. Make them 2 really good ones. Jordan Addison's solid. We're going to trade for TJ Hawkinson. We're going to bring in Aaron Jones. Get your quarterback weapons. Then, you don't have to have these worries of if they're good or not because everything around them is good and it makes them look better, okay? Perfect. Good job, Minnesota. Your defense, Brian Flores, thumbs up from me. Then we'll move on to the Cardinals. The Cardinals are the quintessential team, okay? That is them. Like they are them. They are him, they are they. Whatever it is, that's them. They are not good, but they're also definitely not bad. However, it's exactly as I predicted. If you go back to my preseason stuff, I predicted they were going to be like a competitive 7, 8, 9 win team. And right now, they are slated right at 7 and 9. So, hey, look at that, buddy. Anyways, they're fine. They're probably going to look at removing Kyler from this equation. Is that the right choice? I don't know, but I'm not the GM. Y'all do what you want, okay? I'd say at this point, the experiment's kind of over in Arizona. I don't think they're going to get anywhere with it, but at the same time, you can't really blame him because the roster sucks outside of about 5 players. So, anyways, the Ravens, honestly, this is an interesting one here. Lamar's had a really good numerical season, but honestly, it's not equated to winning like usual. They're currently 11-5, which, I mean, obviously that is good. I guess I'll put them in a win. They got Derrick Henry. They have really established their offense as a more multifaceted option, and it's opened up the passing game for Lamar. He's had his best season as a passer of his career, but their defense has been bad for the most part. I'm not scared of them whatsoever. I don't think most teams are scared of them whatsoever. They were much scarier last year, and they couldn't get the job done, so why would I be scared of them now, I guess is the question. Anyways, they are a good team, though. Not to say they're not good. It's just they're not as good as they once were. So, yeah, that's what that is. The Chiefs, they're a winner. for whatever that's worth, they lost one game. So, yeah, I mean, maybe two, considering they might bench everyone versus the Broncos this week. But, yeah, they're fine. The Buccaneers, I'd say this is a winning season. Currently, they are winning their division. They're probably going to win their division. They're 9-7. The Atlanta Falcons are 8-8. And I think, are they playing? I think they might be playing for this division. If they lose, they do automatically fall down here because they should not have lost that, especially with how bad the Falcons were for a good stretch. But at this moment, okay, we're going to assume that Baker Mayfield's going to lead this team to a win over Michael Penix, and just say that's good, okay? Let's just go ahead and assume that. I know that's a bit of a stretch, but it's really not. Bucky Irving was a great find. Graham Barton, absolute centerpiece of that line, pun intended. There's a lot of good things out of this Bucs team. They have a little ways to go. I don't think they're a legit Super Bowl contender, but things are there, okay? Give them a year or two, they might be in a good spot. The Jets, a really good spot. The Jets, loser. Wow, terrible, awful, no good, bad. Rodgers, retire. Wilson, trade him to a Steeler. Not really, maybe. I don't know. Not my decision, but the Jets suck, and everybody wants to leave. No one wants to be there. No one wants their friends, their good buddies, their old pals to join them on the Jets. So that's pretty bad. Like, can we bring in relegation? Like, I don't know, maybe like Georgia is now an NFL team and they're now a college football team. That would be really cool. But also, wow, really bad. Pittsburgh Steelers. This one's kind of a controversial one here, I think. I think this is a win, in a sense, because so people are gonna, say, oh, 9-8, they get another playoff bid and whoop-de-doo, they're average as ever. No Mike Tomlin, if there's no Andy Reid, no Bill Belichick is going 9-8 or 10-9 or whatever the record is, right over 500 now. 9-8. No one is going 9-8 with Kenny Pickett, with Mason Rudolph. We're seeing that with the Titans. That doesn't happen. The fact that he did that over those last 2 years is thoroughly impressive, okay? One thing. Second, they bring in Russ, the best value contract in the history of the NFL. I don't care if you think Justin Fields is better, Russ is better. It doesn't matter. Russell Wilson for $1 million is literally the best valued contract in the history of NFL history. More than Brock Purdy, because honestly, we're seeing Brock Purdy may not be that good. Russell Wilson is probably a Hall of Famer. So, anyways, it's a whole conversation for another day. But, yeah, I mean, they brought him in. They've got a lot of good. They've won some games. Their defense has really been killing them. But the good thing is, for that, in a sense, their defense is really the strong suit of their team. They're going to probably get healthy right as they enter the playoffs, assuming nothing crazy happens to the Bengals in that game at least. But overall, I think this is a win. Mike Tomlin is very much in control of this team. You can see that through the Hard Knocks, which has been really, really fun to watch. And also, this team is honestly probably the most capable team of winning late in the season. Even though they haven't lately, yes, it's a tough stretch. It doesn't matter, whatever. Long other conversation. They're most capable of winning since probably like 2017 with Ben Roethlisberger. So they have an upside more than most and more than the down looks right now. Okay, they had 3 games in 10 days, and they were against 3 of the best teams in the league. So I don't want to hear it. The Commanders, winners. Definitely winners. Okay, definitely winners. Jaden Daniels looks like the rookie of the year. They have fought into a very, very competitive 11-5. Messy 11-5 though, to a point, but hey, they've done it well. So give them credit where credit's due, and they'll get the winner. Okay, Texans, I think they're a loser this year. And you know what? To me, they're really not. Okay, to you guys, to most people, they are, because C.J. Stroud doesn't look as good as he once did. And I told you all, wait, stop crowning guys as the future MVP of the league after they played 12 games. Okay, Jaden Daniels is not necessarily an MVP level player just because he's had a good season in his rookie year. There's going to get film out there, just like C.J. Stroud last year. Let's please learn from this right here. C.J. Stroud last year was in the same position that Jaden Daniels is right now. Okay? Let's visualize that, okay? Same position, and now it looks like this. C.J. Stroud is way down here, while Jaden Daniels is up here. It's a big difference. It's a big difference after 1 year. And is Stroud bad? Probably not. He may have just had a down year. He had a lot of injuries they dealt with. He had a lot of ups and downs, a sophomore slump. That's a real thing. Anyways, that's a long topic for another day, but this is if your team won or lost. What do you think down in the comments below? Did your team win? Did your team lose? And who do you think I'm wrong about? Let me know in the comments. I might respond to you. I like to do that to people. Either way, I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Check out my merch down below. Appreciate you. See ya.